This video is going to cover some crazy statistics about the financial health of Americans. So if you've ever wondered how people are really doing financially, this video is for you. By the end, I hope you feel more confident about your own financial journey. After all, it's really about having the right mindset, focusing on your own goals, and not getting distracted by the fake, superficial lives people often project on social media. There's even a term for this. It's called money dysmorphia, a distorted perception of your own financial situation that doesn't align with reality. So here's some reality. Do you know that the weekly income for a full-time worker in the U.S. at the end of 2024 was $1,185? That works out to $61,620 per year, and that's for a full-time worker. This is the actual data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The media often reports income that can be a bit misleading because they report household income, but that doesn't help an individual much. Household income refers to the total earned by all the people under the same roof, whether they're related or not. And it includes many types of income like wages, business income, investments, pensions, and so on. So remember, currently, the median income in the U.S. is $61,620, and that's for somebody working full-time. The median weekly earnings of a part-time worker was only $386 per week, or $20,072 per year. You might be thinking, well, not where I live, but even in New York, the median family income for two people was about $88,000 a year in 2024 and around $96,000 a year in California. And that's according to the Census Bureau. What's crazy is that a recent survey from Empower found that Americans say they need a salary of $270,214 to feel successful. That's over 4 times the median income for full-time workers. And Gen Z, they think they need $587,797, or 9.5 times the median income level. Keep in mind that anything above $250,000 places you in the top 10% of earners in the U.S., and somebody making $500,000 puts you in the top 2%. One of the first signs that you're richer than you think is just by avoiding the trap of playing the status game. No matter where you are financially, it's easy to notice your neighbor driving a new car or taking trips you'd love to go on, or maybe you see somebody on social media just posting their highlight reel. With just a few clicks, it's easy to feel like you don't quite measure up. The truth is, those who constantly worry about their status and compare themselves to others are more likely to struggle financially. It's a dangerous addiction, and it keeps people seeking the approval of others. This is why even people with millions of dollars can go broke. The thing is, net worth and debt are invisible. Many people in the U.S. are buried in debt and living a stressful life because of it. I know a lot of people that live in big homes, drive nice cars, and the neighborhood thinks they have a lot of money. But that's all financed. They have little to no net worth at all, and they're just an emergency or two away from going bankrupt. So what about the 401k balances? Well, according to Vanguard's 2024 report on how Americans saves, the median 401k balance for somebody 35 to 44 was only $35,537. And those 45 to 54, it was only a little over $60,000. The next surprising statistic is having an emergency fund. In a recent survey, 42% of Americans don't have an emergency fund at all. If you have an emergency fund or working on building one, you're doing better than many people. Having an emergency fund helps alleviate stress and anxiety anyway, and it serves as our first line of defense against falling into unnecessary debt. Unexpected expenses are bound to pop up. In fact, the same survey found that 60% did experience unexpected expenses in the past year. No wonder another recent survey by CreditWise found that 73% of Americans rank their finances as the #1 source of stress in their life. A survey by Bankrate found that 41% of Americans could not afford a $1,000 emergency expense. What would happen if your pet got sick and you had to take it to the vet? Or if your car broke down? Or you needed to pay for a tow truck? Maybe you need to buy a new appliance that broke down. Emergency funds act as self-insurance, helping you mitigate the risk of a financial emergency. This could explain why 36% of U.S. adults had more credit card debt than money saved in an emergency fund, both in 2023 and 2024. Let me take a moment here to say I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button, maybe leave some comments below afterwards. Really does help the algorithm and the channel. So thank you for that. Okay, next up, towards the end of 2024, 48% of U.S. credit card holders were carrying a balance from month to month, and the average credit card balance, $6,380. Speaking of credit, a survey conducted by badcredit.org found that 31% of Americans don't know their credit score, and credit.com found that 42% of Gen Z don't know their score. A credit score is kind of a financial snapshot of how well you're managing your money and how disciplined you are to not overspend. A good score can not only get you better interest rates when doing something like buying a car or home, but it also helps lower your car insurance or home insurance, and there's many other benefits. The average recent credit score in the U.S. is 717, according to FICO. The credit score range goes from 300 to 850. In 2024, slightly less than half of the population had a credit score above 740. If you know your credit score and understand the components that make up your score, you're well ahead of most people. There are typically 5 main components of your credit score, but just focus mostly on the big 3. Your payment history is 35%. The amounts you owe, or what's called your credit utilization, is 30%. And the length of your credit history is 15%. Almost 45% of Americans have paid a bill late in just the past year. And of those, 44% said it was a utility bill they missed. 37% of Americans have paid late fees in the past 12 months. According to Schwab's Modern Wealth Survey, just 35% of Americans have a financial plan they follow. It's really important to have a financial plan for your money, know your expenses, and live below your means, getting back to that feeling of what's called money dysmorphia. Some of the indicators are you avoid tracking your spending, maxing out credit cards, constantly worrying about not having enough savings, feeling guilty or ashamed after spending money, and constantly comparing your financial situation to others. Most people would like to have more money, but when they do, they often immediately start thinking about things they can spend it on. According to data from Bank of America, 35% of households earning less than $50,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. But surprisingly, about 20% of households earning $150,000 or more are also living paycheck to paycheck. While the percentages of people living paycheck to paycheck are often reported as being a little higher than this definition used here is really strict. Here, to be classified as living paycheck to paycheck, spending just on the true necessities, not any discretionary wants whatsoever, had to account for more than 95% of their income. People at all income levels can fall into the trap of living paycheck to paycheck. Those with higher incomes often end up with bigger homes with bigger mortgages, luxury cars, going out to expensive restaurants, lavish vacations, and so on. So if you care about achieving freedom, and taking control over your life instead of playing the status game. You'll set yourself apart. But you must practice discipline and choose what you want most in life over what you want right now. But to do that, you need to live below your means so you can save and invest. If you can just do that, you'll be better off than most people. So here are 10 signs you're financially stable and working towards financial freedom. You have a budget and a financial plan. A budget helps you track spending and stay on course. You live below your means. You spend less than you earn, ensuring you're not overspending. The next one is saving becomes a habit. Before spending on payday, you prioritize depositing a portion of your income into savings. This habit ensures you're building a financial cushion over time. Then you prioritize paying off debt, tackling it head on and minimizing any interest payments. And this frees up more money so you can invest and meet your goals. You pay your bills on time. On-time payments prevent late fees and protect your credit score. Your goals are clear, whether it's buying a home, retiring early, or traveling the world. Having specific goals gives your financial plan purpose and direction. You invest regularly. Saving is important, but investing is how you grow your wealth, thanks to the power of compounding. So, if you try to invest in assets rather than spend all of your money buying liabilities, you are better off than most people. FOMO doesn't control you. The fear of missing out can derail financial plans. It's like the modern-day version of keeping up with the Joneses. Financially stable people stay focused on their own priorities. You don't constantly stress about money. Confidence in your plan brings peace of mind. This peace of mind reduces stress and allows you to focus on other aspects of your life. You have your health. No matter what problems someone thinks they may have, a serious health issue will quickly overshadow all of them. If you have your health, it's truly something to be grateful for. Now, as far as your finances, I know you receive a lot of investment advice. Build an emergency fund, open a Roth IRA, contribute to your 401k, pay down debt, start an HSA. It can all seem kind of overwhelming, and you can't do it all at once. So what should you prioritize first? I do have a video on the optimal order to follow for your investments and your payday routine. If you're interested, I'll link that in the description below. So I hope this has been helpful, made you feel a little bit better about yourself. Thank you for watching.